Hi everyone. Happy Friday. All great. We've got quite a few things to go through today and had something come through in the last hour or two about Harry's court case. So I hope you all had a great week and have some great plans for the weekend. Let's get straight into it, shall we? I can see Kat Hurlem in here, Annie, Jen Martha, hi, Dolores, hi. All right, first things first. The hardback and paper back of Royal Codes is finally out today. If you go to the Amazon page, I've pinned the link on the top of the comments in the chat. The paperback and the hardcover are now there. For those of you who are waiting for that, thank you to everybody who's messaged me and said that you've bought it already or plan on buying it. I appreciate it so much. The ebook has already been out for a bit, but I really do think that you will appreciate the essence of the book more, I think, when you have it in physical copy. But the ebook is still fine. It's just you don't get the pleasure of the journaling pages that I added in it. But of course, you can still do the prompts on a separate journal or separate piece of paper. And thank you to everyone who's bought it so far. I did want to read this quote from the book. A queen with a royal by title or by spirit knows that her power comes from her ability to chart her own course. She knows when to be still and when to rise up, when to follow and when to lead, and when to quietly but firmly step away from what no longer serves her. And that's really the essence of this entire book. All right, next thing, update on Harry's court case. Did not expect to see this, actually, and now that I've seen this, a little bit suspicious of some of the language that the judge is using. Maybe I just don't understand, legal language. But let's have a read through this. If we've got any lawyers in the chat, maybe I'm just so sensitive to certain things after all these years, but here we go. So this is the update. When was this? Yeah, this is in the last couple of hours. So Prince Harry's legal action against the publisher of The Sun resembles a campaign between two well-resourced armies that is taking up more than the appropriate amount of time, a High Court judge has said. The publisher, The Sun, has previously denied unlawful activity took place. In a preliminary ruling on Friday, Mr. Justice Fancourt resolved disputes between the legal teams for Harry and NGN over amendments to the Duke's pleaded case. The judge wrote, "I have previously indicated to the parties that this individual claim, although it raises important issues, is starting to absorb more than an appropriate share of the court's resources, contrary to the requirement in the overriding objective to deal with cases justly at proportionate costs." And this is why I'm suspicious. Although it raises important issues, it is starting to absorb more than the appropriate share of the court's resources. Central to this court case is a wider issue of how the press behave, the illegal way in which they behave. And there is potential for this case to set precedent for more cases. So it's just shocking to me to hear a judge say, although it raises important issues, it's absorbing more than the appropriate share of the court's resources, when actually it's the tabloid's behavior that led to this. And if this case alone is taking up more than the appropriate resources, what would actually happen if we had a proper Leveson 2 inquiry which looked into everything? You'd need to open 10 separate courthouses at the same time. Then goes on to say, the claim at times resembles more an entrenched front in a campaign between two well-resourced armies that a claim for misuse of private information. It is unsatisfactory, to say the least, that the court should be faced a second time with having to resolve such a large extent of disputed material on amendments to a segment of a case. Well, if you feel that it's taking up too much time just for this individual case, okay, open up the whole Everton 2 inquiry. Then we can all have our 2 cents on how we feel. It is on. Okay, so in his 12-page written ruling, the judge said he had perhaps unduly optimistically expected that the residual disputed material would be limited in light of his decisions in May over how Harry could argue his case. But he added, in the event I am faced with a table of disputes running to 44 pages with 49 separate items or groups of items disputed, only a handful of which were eventually agreed, and 34 pages of dense submissions by NGN in support of their objections. Really, it's actually the tabloids that are wasting court time here. It's them. They're going to just continue to put any nonsense out there that's going to keep this just dragging on longer. That's all they're trying to do. All the tabloids are doing is kicking the can down the road. I don't see why the judge can't see that. The judge said he made his ruling as short as reasonably possible in light of the urgency over the case and trial preparations. He added, I have also previously indicated that this claim will not be adjourned and will be either tried in January 2025 or settled, since it was issued as far back as September 2019 and has been stood out of eligibility for 2 previous listed trial dates. This remains a position. Okay, bring on January. Bring it on. Oh dear, oh dear. Thank you so much to Kat Harlan for being a member for 26 months, and you just purchased Royal Codes. Amazing. Can't wait to hear what you think about it. Wendy, you said, I do feel the same. UK courts are biased. Look at the past ruling, the monarchy courts. Exactly. I mean, they're His Majesty's judges, so yeah. I'm expecting some level of bias, but they should know that the world is watching. And the British public, who are slowly but surely getting impatient of the way the tabloids behave, are also watching. Jedi, you said, anyone remember that pic of Charles leaving the royal court? Yeah, that was something. Sending a message. Okay, on to other slightly more positive news. Harry and Meghan's comms chief, Ashley Hansen, will be launching 3 Gate Strategies, which is her own consultancy firm, and she has signed Harry and Meghan as her first clients. We hear that the Duke and Duchess, I believe this is from, is this Deadline? I think it's Deadline. That the Duke and Duchess fully support Hansen's new venture. And, Ashley's been with the couple since they moved to California. I think she even travels with them. I think I remember seeing her, was it in Dusseldorf? 3 Gate Strategies now becomes part of a portfolio of female-led enterprises and new business ventures that the Duchess has supported since moving to the US in 2020. Ashley Hansen, the global press secretary and head of communications of the Duke and Duchess. She has been the global press secretary for more than 2 years. She will continue to represent and advise the Duke and Duchess whilst providing oversight to their international communications team. Hansen will continue to amplify the vital causes and endeavours undertaken by the couple, in addition to repping their new business ventures and creative projects. We are so proud of Ashley, especially as a female entrepreneur. We look forward to having her focus expertise on our business and creative projects and her continued oversight of our communications team. My husband and I are excited to be alongside Ashley as she builds something extraordinarily special with her firm, said Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, on behalf of the couple. Hansen said, I am incredibly grateful to the Duke and Duchess for their continued trust. Their unwavering support and belief in my new firm has been meaningful and is a testament to their leadership. I knew when they first hired me that they were giving me an opportunity of a lifetime, and I couldn't be happier to continue working together. Amazing, beautiful, positive. And that's how the US press reported on this accurately. So this, I think, is from People. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's trusted global press secretary launches new firm with the Sussexes as key clients. While Ashley Hanson's 3K strategies continues to represent the Duke and Duchess, the firm's client roster now extends across industries, including entertainment, technology, and finance. And over in the UK tabloids, the Mirror saying Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's fresh humiliation as aide quits after wading into row. Like what? It has been revealed that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's global communications secretary, Ashley Hansen, has decided to leave her role with the Sussexes just days after she days after she gushed about working for the couple amid the Duchess' difficult row. Like, this just shows you how, if you're reading the tabloids, see, look, even my cat thinks it's ridiculous. You can hear her meowing in the background. If you're reading the tabloids, you are in a completely alternate universe. Insane. Okay. Bone Mighty, you said Harry did not stop with that judge until justice, like the widow in Luke 18:1. Yes. I don't think Harry will stop. DB, you said, I wonder if there is a final outcome for Rupert Murdoch Trust's recent hearings. Well, they were private, so I don't think we'll hear about it for some time. I think we'll just know about it whenever either his heir or his opposing children get their claws on his empire. That's when we'll know about it. All right, moving swiftly on. So Better Up, which Harry has an executive role at. He did an interview with basketball legend Paul Gasol, sharing his tips on sustaining peak performance in his sport and in life. I think it was about a 15-minute conversation. I don't know if I posted about it on community tab. If I haven't, I will do after the show. But it was just a really interesting conversation about, finding flow, finding focus, and as both an individual and in his experience as a basketball player in a team. And it's just being in this state of concentration and mindfulness where you're just at the top of your game and at the peak performance. So that was a very interesting conversation and surprise pop-up. Also, there's another interview that we haven't seen from Harry's visit to New York. There was a video that was released, a montage, like a behind-the-scenes montage, and there's just like one second or two where you see Harry sitting in some kind of studio, looking like he was doing a podcast with someone, but we haven't seen that yet. So there's definitely more coming from that trip. Okay, so moving over to where Harry is now in Joburg. Just this then and a now. Consistency and authenticity. But this is from Lesotho. He's now in Joburg. And he was talking to different communities. Sorry, this is actually from Lesotho. So you can go read that on the Archwell website. But I want to move on to Joburg. So strengthening features in Johannesburg. Harry attended a private panel discussion and dinner in Johannesburg hosted by Sensationalism, and the event brought together influential figures, including MBEs, politicians, and key figures from leading corporate foundations. Sensationalism empowers youth through targeted interventions that enhance their well-being and success. And they had different panelists, people from Google, people from different foundations, just sharing valuable insights. And Harry said, I've made it one of my life's missions to create a platform for young voices. And we have seen time and time again that young voices, when they are listened to, have the solutions, underscoring the critical importance of youth involvement to deliver tangible results. And I have seen from some of the pictures coming out that there are youth reporters on the ground that they are actually giving access to. So the Royal Rotarats aren't getting access at all. But they've got youth reporters, and this is setting the groundwork for the future. Who is going to be reporting on the news in the future? Here are some lovely pictures from that reception. I mean, is this not just GQ magazine cover? Amazing. Also, these pictures from Lesotho, which I never showed you because I didn't do a podcast yesterday. Otherwise, I would have reported on this yesterday. If anybody knows that the hat that the prince is wearing, I don't know if that's straw. If anybody knows what cultural significance that has, I would love to know. Obviously, it's for sun protection, but the shape of it is quite unique. So if it has any cultural significance and there's anyone in the comment section that knows, please do tell us. Very interested. All right. Next thing I wanted to mention, I think just the difference in reception between, the heir and the spare. People know what authenticity is when they see it, and you can see the difference in these pictures. And this has only been possible for Harry because he's been doing the work from a very young age. As soon as he got the opportunity to, even in the limited capacity that the firm allowed him to, and has a genuine heart, whereas William, future king, it's like he's just waiting for the crown. And I think the way in which the firm spoiled William didn't really prepare him for the way the world is now. Okay. There was a picture released of Kate with a young cancer patient. To be honest with you, I just find the whole conversation with Kate and this issue to be, quite frankly, uncomfortable. It's not really I feel like I gave it space for us to because we're nice people here in the most respectful way possible. Myself, Lightside, and YM Droid, if you listen to that podcast, kind of had our 2 cents and on this. And to be honest, it's just not, because of the issue itself and the wider implications of it, I just feel very ick talking about it in general. And I feel like I've given it its space. I don't really want to give it too much space anymore. But I will say this, the photo in question, which I won't show, if you've been on Twitter or Instagram, you've seen it, it's Kate with this young survivor who was a photographer. All I thought when I looked at that photo is the glaring disparity between the average ordinary person and the access to healthcare and resources and support that they have versus what Kate as a royal has. Kate could not look more glamorous next to this brave young lady who was brought to Kensington Palace for a photo op. And my wish is that everyone has equal access to good healthcare, not just if you're a royal. And that's really all I have to say about that. Yeah. I did also want to just mention this. William saying that he missed the Olympics because he feared that he'd give Kate Middleton the Mr. C. I never heard French officials putting in any any rules or giving any warnings that they were worried about the Mr. C. So I never heard anything about that from French health officials. And if there had been any concern, you would have seen measures being put in place, people being told to wear masks, social distancing, and all of that. You never saw any of that. So, number one, I never heard anything from French health officials or scientists. Kate and William broke Mr. C lockdown rules during the pandemic. And both Kate and William have been to events in the last few months. Kate went to Wimbledon. William was, shaking it around at the Taylor Swift concert, at different football matches. So I'm really just not buying this. I'm not buying it at all. Because it's just not adding up. Also, the Not So Invisible contract is showing itself again. Emily Andrews, who's a Rotaract, she posted this. She said, all try to paint a positive image, but it is also there to inform the general public. A couple of years ago, Prince William was pretty upset with me. I'd called him a hypocrite for launching saving wildlife initiatives the same week as doing some big game shooting. More seriously, I'd called Will's work shy, and that he didn't want to face up, take on his full-time royal role, stay in Amna Hall, with his wife and kids, doing his air ambulance job, not stepping up. It was true, but also pretty hurtful. His press secretary, in effect, tried to get me sacked for it in writing. So this tweet is from 2020, but it's making the rounds again because people are just wondering, how is it that we can continue to have these royal reporters who have this, open line to the palace to just post propaganda and not actual news? Someone tweeting, so William's press secretary, with the blessing of William, tried to get Emily Andrews sacked for writing a negative article about William being work shy and being a hypocrite about wildlife. Can you spot a pattern here? And this pattern has continued since 2020. They punish those who oppose them, and apparently at a drinks party, William saw Emily out and made up more like back off or else back off or I will make it worth it with William. And guess what? They are all friends now. I really hope people start opening their eyes. Those who career hate Harry and Meghan either owe William or don't want to be sacked. Meredith Constance, who's a commentator in this space also, she's recently interviewed someone who has direct access to royal reporters and was told specifically by royal reporters about, conversation and links between the press and the palace. I'm going to I haven't watched that interview yet. The lady that Meredith interviewed, she's still a bit of a Meghan hater, but I think that actually, I guess you could say, adds some validity to the claims that clearly there was a smear campaign against Harry and Meghan, and she feels that there is a lot of dodgy work that happens behind the scenes between the palace and the press. So this is someone who is not, a Meghan fan, for whatever reason, but still can stand here and say, yeah, that there's corruption going on here. There's definitely been bullying and ganging up on Harry and Meghan. So I think I might actually do some kind of live reaction to that interview, because it was actually really good and from the clips that I've seen, very insightful. And Meredith has been doing some amazing work on dissecting, the press and media and the conversations around Harry and Meghan and why they happen in the way that they do. Okay, and it's definitely needed because of things like this. Where's Meghan? I mean, was she just not in Colombia just now? You want to see her? The person you say is irrelevant, the person who, when she was in Colombia, you said was stealing all the spotlight. Now you want to see her. I'm so glad that the United Kingdom has no issues whatsoever, that the only thing that the press are worrying about is Meghan. I believe this was the Telegraph, the front page. I mean, I don't read the papers or really even pay attention to printed press when I go in the stores, but for people that do, what do you think when you walk in the store and you see this? And you see this? Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, I showed you like a whole collage of maybe 6 tabloid front covers when I did that podcast on media terrorism? But here's a fresh 3 from this week. It's just a constant churn and burn. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Anyway, on a more positive note, I took this from Duchess of Sussex, Rebecca's page. Meghan's friends are doing well. Keeping it positive. Being a good person will get you good things. So author Lindsay Jill Roth reflects on love, friendship with Meghan, and the 250 questions that led her to the one. She hasn't read her acknowledgement yet, Roth says. I'm guessing that's in her book. I have saved that as a little token for her to see when the book comes out. I think it's rare to find friends who love you unconditionally, and I've been lucky in my life to have a few who I truly consider family. It's almost like those words aren't enough. And while it's not lost on Roth that both she and Meghan ended up with partners from the UK, she prefers to emphasize what truly matters. I often get asked, is it really special that you both married Brits? What I always say is, it's special that we both married such wonderful people. She adds, I'm lucky to have chosen a partner who is so supportive of the stories I want to tell and of me. And he's been along for the ride with for the whole time. A girl's girl. I can't imagine what it was like for Meghan to not have friends like this when she was in the firm, and to be actively discouraged to have connections like this, because it's a whole cult. And now she's free to be with her friends, to laugh. Boy, what just a wild existence. Could never imagine it, wouldn't want to. Not for all the riches in the world. I'm glad strong, graceful, poised people like Meghan in the world exist, because I couldn't handle it. And I don't know anyone other than who. It's like Meghan was just picked from the stars for Harry. What woman could have withstood all of this and still be as graced and poised and elegant and kind and compassionate? Anywho, I will wrap things up there. Thank you so much for coming as always. Wishing you all a great weekend, and I will go through your comments and we'll wrap things up. Joan Commonwealth, Duchess, we are yet to see your cat. Have I never shown my cat? Oh, okay. Well, I will respect the cat's privacy. She's a tabby. She is a grey and black tabby, if you want to know what she looks like. A very cute looking one too. TB said, of course, the settlement is preferred. That way, an agreement can read that the defendants are not admitting liability, avoid public testimony under oath, or perjure themselves. Yeah, of course. But it serves the press, not Harry, and definitely not the public, who deserve to know what these tabloids get up to. But again, like I always say, all of this would come to an end tomorrow if, when the shops open tomorrow morning, nobody picks up a newspaper, or when people open their phones in the morning, they don't go on the Daily Mail website. It is literally that simple and that difficult at the same time. It ends when people take away their attention from the tabloids and stop using the tabloids to get this hate-fueled dopamine hit, because that's really what fuels it. It's not the odd bits of positive news that they care to throw in every now and again. It's the sensationalism. It's the hate. So as soon as people grow a backbone and can stand the withdrawal for a couple of weeks, go cold turkey, it's going to continue. But we wouldn't have to be going through all of this if people would just see what this Rupert Murdoch, Jonathan Rothermere tabloid press really is. Nothing but misinformation. Yes, Helen, Nacho has been giving interviews and promoting the Polo series. I've seen that. He did a really good interview, actually. He's very charismatic and very loyal to Harry. I don't think I've seen him in an interview like that before, where he was promoting something. Oh, is Lauren Brown here? Oh, hey! Everybody go support Lauren Brown's channel. Can someone post, Lauren, do you want to post a link to your channel in the chat? Haven't seen you in a while, dear. Hope you're doing good. Everybody go support Lauren Brown, support Facts and 2 Cents. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody who supported the book. Great to see you, dear. For Sandra, you have an orange and white tabby. Lovely. Thank you so much, Gwen. I went for a red because it just felt very rich and royal. Oh, thank you so much, Rowan. Yeah, I saw your comment saying that you got the book. All right, I'm going to wrap things up, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. Ciao.